So one of my favorite brands is Parfums de Marly. So I wanted to do a Parfums de Marly video special, and I thought, how can I do this? Can I do a kind of like a buying guide or something like that? And I just realized I haven't fucking tried them all, so how can I do a honest buying guide or something like that? So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about my top fragrances from Parfums de Marly. So let's just get the fuck into it. Hi all, my name is Tim and welcome to another edition of Smelly Sweet. So I haven't counted yet how many fragrances it is gonna be today. Might be 7 or 8 maybe there around. But before we do that, I want to talk a little bit about the pros and the cons with Parfums de Marly. The pros are that they use quality ingredients. The con is that they might lean a little bit designerish. But that is also why I think they might be a little bit overpriced. So I only buy my bottles from Parfums de Marly when I get around of 25% discount. There I think they are fairly priced. Although they might have some designer features leaning over them, you get a nice presentation, you get a good performing fragrance for the kind of a scent that it is, and you get a nice heavy bottle that feels luxurious in your hands. So that is why I'm gonna start off talking about some fragrances that didn't make my top list. And we start with Percival, a fragrance I bought and I really enjoyed it, but after a while it didn't feel that special thing when I applied it. I didn't feel that I had a niche fragrance in my hands. It only felt like a fresh designer kind of blue fragrance, and I had to sell it. I couldn't hold on to it because it put me off the brand. I started to lose my love for the brand, so I had to get rid of it to maintain my love for Parfums de Marly. Two other fragrances that don't make my top list from Parfums de Marly is Greenly and Sadly. Of course, they are good fragrances. My wife liked Greenly, but I had a worst scent memory when I tried them on, because I tried them on the both same time, and that gave me a flashback to when I was 20 years old, got my first apartment, and I invited friends for a welcoming house welcoming party. I don't know what we call it in English, but you do get what I mean. So I invited a bunch of friends, and among those friends there was one girl that was girlfriend material. So early on the day I went to the toilet and I dropped a fucking beast mode. I mean, when I sat there on the toilet, I thought to myself, the sillage of this one is gonna last forever. So the poo-poo I could hear it scream, no, what are you doing to me? But I had to, right? And actually at that moment I felt a little bit proud. I thought, am I capable of doing that? But then it hit me, no, I invited my friends, I invited a girl. So I just took the first thing I found, and that was an air freshener. And I just sprayed it, and it was an apple flavor like you find in Greenly. So then I was done, I went out, started to clean my house, my apartment. I started to put out some champagne glasses and stuff like that, and I thought, no, it's time to go and brush my teeth. And when I went in there brushing my teeth with that mint flavor and that apple lingering around, it just felt, I got nauseous, and I got the same reaction when I smelled Greenly and Sadly together. A couple of other fragrances that I don't like that I have tried is Habdan, Kuyan. I felt that they were a little bit too, what can you say? I felt they were a little bit too animalic. They were a little bit too dark, a little bit too, something there in the background that didn't click with me. And another fragrance that could make it to this top list is actually one of the ladies, marketing to the ladies, and that is Darcy. I really love it, but I can't find my sample. I can't find the 10 ml travel size kit we had, me and my wife. So probably my wife has taken it and hid it from me. But I guess, no, it is time to dive into this top 8 or top 7. I need to count that before. So 8 fragrances there was, so let's just dive into it. I don't own them all, but I'm gonna explain why and how and so on. So on spot number 8 we do find Carlisle. This is a beautiful fragrance, this is a beautiful juice, but I just feel that it is overpriced, and that is the reason I haven't bought it. I feel that it is a little bit too expensive for what it is. There are better alternatives out there today, that goes in a similar direction. We have Mancera Red Tobacco and my favorite take on the Carlisle DNA from Niche Roll Patchouli TB. On spot number 7 we find Godolphin. I was on my way to say Tuscan Leather, but that is because it is similar to Tuscan Leather. It has taken the inspiration from Tuscan Leather. However, there are some important differences because I prefer Godolphin over Tuscan Leather. However, I got tired of the DNA, so I sold my bottle of Godolphin. But here you have the leather in Godolphin and the leather in Tuscan Leather. They are exactly the same, but the difference is the sharpness from the raspberry that you find in Tuscan Leather. You don't find that in Godolphin. Godolphin is way smoother and it's more fruit. It's not just raspberry, it's a lot of fruity notes in that just smoothes it out, and that is why I preferred Godolphin over Tuscan Leather. And I must say, from Godolphin you had a fucking beast mode. On spot zone number 6, and it's time for me to show a bottle. On spot number 6 we find Haltane. I love this juice, but hear me out. You have saffron, you have lavender, and you have oud. Main components in this one. And that is the main components of Initio's Oud for Greatness. And those two, both Initio and Parfums de Marly, being under the same umbrella, they are gonna use the same source for their fragrance oils. So it's only naturally that those two fragrances will be a lot like each other. However, this one is just easier to wear. It's not as big and bold as Initio Oud for Greatness, but don't mistake that for this being weak at all, because it's pretty potent. But there are some differences as well. In this one you find clary sage and cedar, and that just makes it more me, in my opinion. And then you have an added of praline note here that brings a sweet nuttiness to the composition and almost makes the dry down going in a little bit of a gourmand way. So I really enjoy this bottle, but only on spot number 6, well, that is because the similarities with Initio Oud for Greatness. And the Initio Oud for Greatness has been a big success, and that has led to people start cloning Initio Oud for Greatness. So in my opinion, I think this is a little bit too late. It's a little bit too late of release, because you find great alternatives to Initio Oud for Greatness. I know Latafa has one that is very, very close, only small differences. So therefore, I must say, I think this one you pay too much money. On spot number 5 we find Galloway, another fragrance that I've sold and I regret selling it. So I have a rule for myself that if I've owned a fragrance and sold it, I'm never gonna rebuy it again. But Galloway is very close to making me breaking my own fucking rules. Now, hear me out. If I find a second-hand bottle of Galloway for a great deal, I can't resist. So I sold it because I felt it was a little bit boring. I didn't use it that much, but man, this last summer did I miss having Galloway in my collection. It is this beautiful, almost feminine leaning fragrance with some orange blossoms, some musk and stuff going on. So it feels a little bit flat, but then the black pepper in Galloway makes all the difference, brings it back to be a very masculine leaning fragrance. And I think it's so just perfectly suited for a linen suit on a summer wedding or a summer party. So for that reason, I truly miss selling that one. But here again, yet again, don't buy it for retail. Here I would say 30%, 35% off, then it's a great fucking deal. On spot number 4 we have Ojan. Another fragrance I don't own, another fragrance I've only ever tried. And the reason I don't buy it, I found it for a good deal now, by the way, $480. I think it might be soon in my collection, I'm not sure yet. But the reason I haven't bought it is because of that apple pie opening that I truly love. But I have that in so many other fragrances today that it doesn't stand out in that way. But I start to rethink that apple pie opening in Ojan maybe is more creamier and more of an apple pie than it is in Angel Share, than it is in the House of Oud Dates Delight. But after that they go in a similar direction. The House of Oud Dates Delight, not with Angel Share, because that goes in a different direction. So for that reason I haven't bought Ojan yet, but again, never full retail for it, just not worth it, not that special. But 25-30% again, It's a great deal. Now we're entering my top 3 from Parfums de Marly, and now it's gonna get heated. On spot number 3 we have Callan. I love how Callan dares to be different. I love how Callan dares to stand out, and I love that Callan is not your typical Parfums de Marly fragrance. So love it or hate it, but don't overspray it, because if you overspray this fragrance, the sour blood orange with some spices gonna give you a burnt rubber feeling. But if you spray just the right amount, it's gonna be a lovely fruitiness with some warm spices. But the initial 2-3 minutes, it leaves you with that sour blood orange, so you need a little bit of a tartness. And then when the mid comes with that beautiful lavender together with some orange blossom, but it's the lavender here that makes it for me. And all this is resting on a woody base of sandalwood, some moss, some other woody notes, and some amber and musk and moss. So there you go. This is a beautiful creation in my opinion, and it cuts through the cold. Now the dry down goes in that chipper way. I can't say it is like Hachivat, but it goes in that direction, the dry down. So it gives you that refreshing feeling actually in the dry down, and it cuts through the cold. Perfect for cold weather fragrances if you don't like those warm, sweet fragrances. Parfums de Marly's Callan, a red little danger fragrance. On spot number 2 we have Herod. I love how Herod puts me at ease, gives me a relaxing feeling, and puts me in a place of perfect harmony. This moist, fluffy pipe tobacco together with a rich vanilla is just so you can wear it as a snuggle fragrance, snuggling up with the missus in the sofa and the couch. You can wear it at date nights, you can wear it for formal events, you can wear it for a pub night out with the lads or in a bigger after work party maybe, and you can wear it playing poker with your friends with a big ass fat cigar in your mouth. And really, it is the tobacco in this one. So lovely, it is so lovely. With, oh my god, for those of you who say that tobacco vanilla is better and the other, I mean, you can't find a tobacco that you find in Herod in any other fragrance. I've tried, I've hunted those tobacco scents. This is far superior in my opinion, and one fragrance that I actually think is worth retail price because of that tobacco. And on spot number 1 we have Leighton. Call me a man slut, call me a fuckboy, call me whatever the fuck you want. I love this game. I just love the attention this one gives me. I've been stopped on public places by completely strangers, ladies asking me, what are you wearing? I need to know, I want to give that bottle to my man. I've been stopped by ladies just stopping me, asking me, telling me, you smell so damn good. And I've been stopped and asked by men, what are you wearing? Because if I get some drops of that on me, I'm gonna go home and get me some lucky time with the missus. So that is the effect this fragrance has on people. And yes, it has that mess appealing to it that goes maybe in a designer way, but people that say about Leighton, it's nothing special, it's designerish. They don't recognize fucking quality when it's right in front of them. And some people say, I don't like the opening, it gives me that Vicks Viper scent. No, well, okay, if it does that for you, fine. But that little thing, that little part is what makes this fragrance. Without that, this fragrance would just have depth and no top. Do you understand what I mean? It would just be a deep fragrance without that. You can't recognize the depth without that. If you do understand what I mean, what I'm trying to tell you here. But the quality notes, the quality opening here with the lavender, you have the one of the best kayak roots I have ever tried in Leighton. You have a beautiful vanilla, you have some geranium, some floral tones in the middle. Just a fucking beautiful fragrance that is irresistible, and that is why it's one of the most popular scents around. So I might think that this one comes in the wrong color. It should come in a bottle of green because it is a lean, mean sex machine. Yeah, I know. I recently told you that it isn't the fragrance that makes you sexy. It is you that makes the fragrance sexy. But with Parfums de Marly's Layton, you get a lot of help along the way. So my number one from Parfums de Marly is Layton. So some other fragrances I left out is Layton exclusive. Most people of you know by now what I think about that. And I also left out Pegasus because on my skin it was just a sweet nuttiness, nothing else. And also Pegasus exclusive. I haven't tried it even because I don't feel the rush, because I don't like Layton exclusive, I don't like Pegasus. So what could possibly make me like Pegasus exclusive? No, I also had a similar experience with fucking Fabulous from Tom Ford with that almond there. I just don't get it. It's only sweet. So if you want almond fragrances, my professional advice to you is to go with the Guerlain L'Homme Ideal line. You do find something there with almond that is just amazing. And a hell of a lot cheaper as well. So for you guys who stay this long, a big thank you. And if you stay this long and hate my guts and think I'm a waste of space, thank you for the watch time. The rest of you, I see you again.